What is up, everybody? Episode 9. We got everybody in the house tonight except fucking Big Marcus. Marcus is in the studio right now with who's he in the studio with?
Beyonce. Yolanda Adams.
Yolanda Adams, and he was eating some chips real loud and trying to blame it on Vinny. And but we're gonna miss him tonight. But we got our boy 78 points back in service helping us out. We got Pepe Maxi, Vinny's back, fucking Ferd, the podcast master of all podcasts. I think he's got one every day of the week now.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, no, we're gonna hang out for a little bit and talk a little shit. So do what we do.
Fuck yeah.
Did y'all have a good week, first of all?
Yeah, I still have a job, so that's cool.
That's right. Fun. You said in the chat earlier in the week that your bank was the #1 Twitter trending topic for a few hours, huh?
Yeah, not for all the right reasons, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of fear of contagion over here. But Brad and I were talking about on the show yesterday. I think it's it seems fine in South Carolina. It seems fine in Oklahoma. It seems fine in different areas, pockets of America. But there are different areas that are, they're in trouble. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens, that kind of thing. So anyway.
I don't know if you saw, but yesterday Oklahoma had we signed some legislature to kick BlackRock and a bunch of these fucking woke banks completely out of our ecosystem. Yep, they're not like I said, with Oklahoma being so heavy in oil and gas and things like that. A lot of these companies are really anti-oil and gas. So our current administration told them to go fucking kick rocks.
You know what's crazy is with all the stuff going on with the banks, crypto kind of moving side to side, Bitcoin and ETH, Pepe is just setting new all-time highs. It seems like every single day. It's like the one part of. Oh, is that the Oklahoma stuff?
Yeah, Ferg gave me the look like I was fucking capping a little bit.
No, I was like touchdown on the Pepe.
But yeah, no, I mean it's the banking stuff, scary shit right now. I mean to actually think that people who've saved up money and things like that might not have complete access to it, depending on how things go. It's scary as shit. I mean, can you imagine being a newly retired individual and thinking you got your life savings and next thing you know, you have it in the wrong bank? That's scary.
Yeah,
then you got guys with Pepe coin fucking buying gold tooth and yachts and shit like that. So I mean, it's fucking crazy.
There's that saying, there's a bull market somewhere. If shit's going down somewhere else, something's in the green on the other side. So it's just a matter of looking for it.
Everyone, I know where this guy lives. He's putting all his money in the mattress. We're robbing him, just like Marcus usually does. We're getting his money.
Dude, Pickles must have got more money than a lot of people. I saw he had a brand new Mark Jewelers, New Mutants 87, a fucking Near Mint, New Mutants 98. He's got fucking thigh tattoos and shit like that.
He sells ass on the side, dude. He sells ass on the side. That's what he does.
Hey, if business is good, business is good.
Yeah, I saw that Swamp Thing tattoo is nice.
Yeah. It had Constantine on it, right? Too?
Yeah. He's got Constantine on his leg, and he came over the other day, showed it to me. I was like, dude, let me take a pic of that, dude. He was like, okay. So yeah, he's not done yet. You should hit him up and ask him how painful it is. We'll talk about it on Sunday on the show.
So. See, the problem nowadays is getting fucking tattoos like that is I mean, our old buddy Big Leg, his favorite comic book character was fucking Tim Drake. Could you imagine if he got a big Tim Drake tattoo on his bicep or some shit like that? Right yeah, just Tim Drake on his back, and then all this news comes out. You got to be careful in today's writers. What's going on?
You got to pick those characters right. You know what I mean?
That would totally be my luck. Like, this shit's badass. Next day, fucking Brian Bendis gets a hold of the character. You're fucking sweating all night long. It's like, oh my God, what's he gonna fucking do? Tom Taylor, Bendis taking over the title. It's like, I got this. You can never wear shorts or a fucking tank top ever again.
78, man. How's it going with you, dude? A long time.
Well, it's first week back at work. It's kind of getting into that mode again. You know, had like almost 2 weeks off, so mentally kind of fatigued.
Yeah.
But yeah, popped over to Singapore last week.
Just popped
Singapore's
right on
crazy,
over.
man. Singapore's I haven't been there for about 3 years, and with all the shit that happened in China in the last 3-4 years, and the roll-on effect to Hong Kong, Singapore is exploding. It's like it's attracting all the foreign investment that Hong Kong used to, and it's all going through there. It's stupid money. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy. They're buying people from outside of Singapore, are buying property there for like $200 million. Just parking money, hiding money. It's
now
another level.
Malaysia's connected to
That's
Singapore,
right. That's right. And I had a whole conversation with my old buddies there. Like the residents of Singapore literally do grocery shopping, medical shopping, and literally their petrol across the border. It's fucking insane.
Wow.
Because it's 30% cheaper. It's 30% of cost, so 70% off. So there's a whole racket going on there that the Border Patrol, if your tank in your car is less than half empty, you're not allowed to cross.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because they know you're going to go there, fill it up, and come back.
I was watching, actually, that's interesting. You were in Singapore. I was watching the live golf events that were in Singapore last week, and I stayed up way too late Saturday night watching that shit. Dude, those courses, those courses look like video games. They're so fucking nice.
Oh, yeah.
The grass is just, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it looks like no one plays on the course the whole year until that tournament's
like
there.
Imported, like it's special because that kind of grass doesn't exist in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, it's so humid,
wild and thick here.
Yeah,
like the normal grass that you get. So they bring that in and they cultivate that. And it's crazy, man. The money out here, there is stupid, and most of it's all parking money illegally, so their governments can't get it.
You still can't fuck around in Singapore, though, right? They will cane the shit out of you in public.
You can't fuck around at all, man. So
you can't spit.
Like
nothing.
They have a problem, manpower across the world, right? Mainland China hasn't opened up, so they have an issue with, the manpower coming in for construction, services and things like that. So they've been trying to attract Indians to come in, and they moved into Little India and things like that. And there was some incident happened with a bus. A guy was drunk and the bus ran over him.
Holy shit.
There was a riot.
Oh, wow.
That was a riot. And then boom, next day, new law comes in. You can't drink on the street after 10, and you can't buy alcohol from convenience stores after 10:30.
Wow.
Because that's where they would buy their alcohol.
From one day to the next?
One day to the next, man. Just boom.
I fucking sign me up for that shit. I'm okay with,
because it's basically just one city, It's a large city. It's a country city. It's crazy.
I saw India pass China as the most populous country in the world. Was it 2 weeks ago or last week or whatever? That's crazy to think about. If you really think about it, I thought, 10, 12, 15 years ago when I was in school, they made it sound like China was going to just continually grow and grow and grow population.
It's gotten much sooner than when I remember. Yeah, it was supposed to happen in 2025, 2030.
Is that just because of the child laws about not being able to have multiple children, things like that?
Yeah.
Is that more?
There's a whole thing going on in China with the workforce.
I didn't know if it had anything to do with like COVID, unreported COVID deaths or something like that. I didn't know if that took a huge hit on their population. I haven't researched it, but I just
who knows? Who knows the real truth? But there's definitely that the child policy hurt their new birth rate.
Their goals,
that's for sure,
to populate.
No, this is completely off topic of everything, but like where you're at, is there concerns about the China and the Taiwan situation and
the Taiwan? Yeah, a little bit. There is concern. Having said that, during the pandemic, Indonesia's kind of shown itself to be resilient and able to stand on its own feet. It was one of the few countries in the area and the world that the exchange rate to the US dollar basically stayed the same.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we only had one, stagnant growth 1 year. Everything else has been green. Last year is already I forgot the GDP, but it was ridiculous. It's still, everything's green. Foreign investments going crazy. Like we have a lot of Japanese money coming in here,
Oh, yeah.
which is interesting. They used to be investing in the 80s and 90s, and then we had the economic crisis, and everyone ran away. Japan's coming back through retail. Yeah, it's interesting. So
Widodo
there are
fuck
concerns,
around, though,
but
does he?
sorry.
President, that Widodo guy doesn't fuck around either, does he?
No, he's he is. It's his last term, and basically he knows he's running out of time, so he's trying to put in not just the infrastructure, physical infrastructure. Like he's been building roads, highways, connecting all kinds of stuff, and doing good things for the people. But he's also really trying to clean up his government and put in like lifetimer bureaucrats that are good people in the right places.
It's tough to do.
Yeah, it's tough. It's very tough.
Mm-hmm.
And there is concern about the election 2024. There's concern like who's going to come in, but there's also optimism that whoever does come in doesn't want to rock the boat because it's been doing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Because everyone's doing well.
That's actually really interesting stuff. And we actually rebranded just now from OTR to Southeast Asian News. Just kidding. No, for real though.
This.
Yeah.
My last question though is: could Indonesia take over the Philippines in a war?
Oh, easy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
No
There's
shit.
247 million people here.
Wait, how many you guys have?
247 million. We can walk across.
I would say
if y'all decide to do it during his Ferd wedding, just let him be.
Let him know. Give him a heads up.
Be like, hey, Ferd, we're coming to take your shit.
No, it's quietly
Flash
a
mob.
huge fucking country here.
Black.
We're the
I
fifth-
didn't know that it had 240 million.
Yeah, we're the
Wow.
fifth most
We have
populous country in the
330
world.
million, but
Yeah.
we're all spread out though. That's
Yeah,
why I
we're
think
just
it'd be
on a
hard.
bunch.
But
Yeah,
what
yeah,
if?
Thousand
But here's the
Island.
thing: what if the Philippines sent Manny Pacquiao out first? And y'all had to
Dude,
send
I was
someone-
gonna say. I swear I was
and
gonna
y'all
say
had to
that. when
send
they got
like
back here.
gladiator style, where y'all got to send a
No, we-
motherfucker
we-
out
we
to fight
ain't got
Pacquiao.
that, yeah.
How's that gonna work?
No, we don't
Manny
have
would
good
just like
fighters
make
out
jokes
here.
at everybody and then beat the shit out of everyone. That's how he is. Yeah.
No, the
The
boxing
funny
here
thing
sucks.
about Pacquiao to me is like how serious he was when he boxed, and then you watched
Yeah.
him doing like karaoke and shit, and then
Yeah, like right
he
afterwards.
literally
Yeah.
loved karaoke more than boxing.
Yeah, he would go like he would like set up a concert after like his fight, like not knowing what's gonna happen, and he
just singing
yeah.
fucking Reba McEntire, smiling his ass off and shit. Just like,
dude.
what in the
But
hell?
like legit, that's how Filipinos are, man. Like Manny Pacquiao is a definition of a Filipino, like happy all the time. But
The craziest thing to me was during the 24/7s, the week leading up to the fight, he'd have like 100 people around him. It's like, how do you get focused for a fight? It's like the day before he would get focused, he would turn it on, but 3 months prior to the fight or leading up to the fight, it was just like he was not goofing around, but it seemed like he was just hanging out with like buddies and, just kind of shooting the shit for 3
Mhm.
weeks, and then a couple days before the fight, he just turns it on.
yeah, that's our culture, man. I mean, my sister lives like 5 minutes away. My other sister lives like 10 minutes away. It's all community,
Speaking of Filipinos, what's up with your boy Volpe, man? He's batting like 215, not doing too good.
I think it's I don't know, man. Do you guys think they brought him up too soon?
No. I just think if you notice in the last 3 games, they've moved him from 9th in the lineup to 1st in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to start seeing some better pitchers because with what they have behind him. But at the same point in time, I just wonder if the New York, because that's the thing is the Jeter and people like that last group of great Yankees, they didn't have social media and a lot of the shit that, today has media wise. And I'm just curious, that you just don't see people in even the Knicks or any of the New York markets just do very well as youngsters anymore. I can't think of a football player, a hockey player, or anyone who has come in as a rookie in the last 5 to 10 years and done very well in that market. I'm just curious if that might have something to do with it, or if it's just, like I said, I think batting 9th, he's not getting a lot of great pitches probably. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to turn around. Because I saw Cabrera's getting a lot more at bats. They brought Cabrera up when Stanton went down. And I noticed that he's getting a lot more at bats. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I kind of think it's a combination of what you're talking about, but there's a scouting report on Volpe now. There, he's gotten more ABs and pitchers have seen what his tendencies are. So
Mm,
now it's just a matter of him adjusting to that big league pitching.
right.
It's kind of like, okay, you made it, you were hot, and now it's up to you to kind of adjust to the pitching.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I want him to succeed. Like having
Yeah.
I'm not a Yankee fan, but it seems like baseball's more fun when the Yankees are good.
Yeah,
It gives
100%.
gives you
Any
even
New York team, any New
Yeah.
York team, right? Honestly,
I give Ralph shit, but it's the same thing with the Dodgers too, almost in the National League. You know, having those two big powerhouses with all the media attention, everything having good, it just seems like more and more eyes are on baseball. And
Yep.
I like baseball. Baseball is probably my favorite sport to watch. I hate the Cubs right now. That's the thing. The Cubs are my team. They've always been my team. But God, I hate Jed Hoyer so fucking bad. Like I really do. Like I dislike him so much. It's hard for me to root for them. And I'm the biggest Cubs fan you'll ever meet.
yeah, no, it's yeah, I don't know. I mean, Julio's having a bad, month and a
Sophomore
half
slump.
too, and I mean, Kelenick's still hit. I mean, he's our number one player right now, so
He's still batting 312, or I think.
yeah, he had a nice at bat today. Hit a double. He was 1 for 4, but yeah, it's it'll be. I wonder if those cold months, like it's cold in April. They always say that it's like cold here in Seattle. And so like our players start to heat up mid-May. I wonder if that'll help out Volpe. You know what I mean? It's been cold everywhere. I should say,
I saw that there was a game in Minnesota or whatever, and they had like complete like hoodies and things on. So yeah.
It's crazy.
Baseball's I don't know. I love baseball. I could talk baseball for 2 hours.
I got a fun segment for you later then, man. I don't know if you saw it on the slides, but I think it'll be fun. I came up with something kind of different for this week. So let's get into it, guys. Let's do this real quick. Is it?
Look at he's got sliding animations going this week.
Oh yeah. I'm real fancy. I feel good. So
Wow.
so Ralph, sneakerhead, let's see what you got for us.
All right, starting from the top, the Kobe's. I think
yeah, sorry, Trey.
Trey, did
My
you hit on these?
Dude, okay, dude, I've never. I don't know if you remember or not. I've had an active sneakers account where I buy golf shoes once a month directly from them. I watch all the video. I do everything you're supposed to do. I have never hit a fucking sneaker.
How's that? I don't understand how that's possible that you've never hit on
I looked
sneakers.
at it. I'm a size 11, and apparently that's the one or the.
I'm a size 11.
Apparently, most people that's the one where they most go for, because
weird.
to segue into this anyway, the Nike 4 Kobe Protro Mambasita GGs did a shock drop. I think it was Tuesday afternoon, and we had 4 to 5 people in OTR Discord hit. And the thing about it was interesting was it seemed like if you were a size 13 or smaller, you got almost an instant notification. Like I was a size 11. And I had a pending for almost 45 minutes until it sold out.
Wait, was that for the Kobe's? I think that was for the Jordans, right?
Oh, but both of them, buddy.
Okay.
Both of them. If you look, I think you're right though. I think only one person hit the Kobe's. There was more people that hit the Spider-Verse, but they were going for almost $1,100 before the shock drop. And I looked a few minutes ago, and size 11s are down to $556 for the Kobe Mamacitas. And what's crazy to me was I didn't realize how many NBA players wear the Kobe's. Like I was watching an NBA game. I was watching the playoff game 2 nights ago, and I'm not shitting you. I think 60 to 70% of the players had a iteration of the Protros on. The lime greens to the purple and yellows, whatever. So I didn't realize how popular of an actual fucking basketball shoe it was. So these are going to do well. Yeah. I mean, Ralph can talk on these way better than I can. There's always a big drop 3 to 4 days after the shock drops because that's when people start getting their shipments in, and then the undercut wave happens. Same thing with comics and a lot of other things. You know what I mean? People are getting $125 for them. Someone's going to put one for $115 just to try to sell theirs faster. And that continues that wave, and then gradually, slowly start going back up. But I don't know. What do you think?
The only thing I didn't the shoe I enjoy. I kind of wanted these for personal, just to hold on to. But so when Nike and Vanessa Bryant had that agreement where they were gonna continue to make Kobe's, I guess one of the stipulations was to increase the stock. But for these, I mean, I think it was next to none. I didn't hit on any of the sneaker passes. I didn't hit on the actual drop, so kind of bummed out about that. I don't have numbers as far as stock, but it seems super limited, which kind of goes back onto what Nike and Vanessa's beef was, is that she wanted the stock to be, plentiful.
Readily
So
available. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, let me ask you: would you wear these?
I'd wear those to hoop for sure. I would.
You would? You would wear
Yeah,
them to hoop?
Yeah.
Ralph made it sound like he goes to the park and drops 35 on people all the time. Did you guys catch that? He's like, yeah,
Who next? Who next?
At LA, I'm not, just to get a workout in. I mean, I'd wear them in LA. Everybody wears Kobe's. I mean,
Oh, really?
It's a staple. It's a staple here. And
Same in Asia, man. They love the
exactly,
Kobe's in Asia.
exactly. I mean, but to hoop or to go to the gym, I would definitely wear these. It's not an everyday shoe, but I would definitely wear these to hoop. And I'm
Okay.
not
Dude, I
like
got
a hooper, but
Her name on there doesn't do anything to you?
no, I mean, it's in remembrance of his daughter. And I think they
Yeah.
released these released the day that was her birthday. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but
that is correct.
it's a nice touch. I know they're going for a ton of money, but it would have been nice for people that wanted them personal could actually have them. So
Yeah.
but I guess
Yeah,
that's just the way
I
it goes
agree
with
with that.
sneakers.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of I gotta give a shout out to our Discord though. That the shoes on the shock drop days, that section has been popping.
It has.
And it's fucking so cool. I mean, like I said, we had Wade hit the fucking Tiffany dunks. On every big shoe drop that there has been at least one person in our group hit. And it's really refreshing to see when you actually start to see other people getting fucking hits and wins. I mean,
Yeah.
and segue into the Spider-Verse, we had 4 to 5 people hit Spider-Verse very, very quickly. We had a couple guys. I think it was Eric Villarreal. I think he hit on his normal size and he hit on his daughter's size,
which is pretty cool.
And yeah, but and those are still going for almost 300. There was 60,000 stock of these. I did see that number. The shock drop on the Spider-Verse were 60,000, which is quite a bit if you think about it. But it's a popular shoe, and Ralph's talked about it. Any Jordan 1s and the Chicago original colorways, they don't go down in value. Exactly, and especially you throw in the Miles Morales and the limited and the whole 9 yards.
So many collectors.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean the original Into the Spider-Verses are still 650 to 700, depending on what size you have.
For real? Shit.
Yeah.
For real.
I did clearance here.
What?
No, for real. They had clearance here.
What?
Let me double check and make sure I'm not fucking lying. I swear I did.
No,
I didn't
no,
know.
this is years ago, but that can happen once it hits clearance and then there's no more stock.
Yeah. Okay. I'm definitely not crazy.
Yeah, I think the regular box is like 600, but the special box. Yeah, the special box is like 1,200. I mean, the cool thing about this is like it's combining comics and shoe collectors, and who knows how many times they're gonna make these type of collabs. I kind of thought the Into the Spider-Verse was a one-off, but when they had another I guess colorway for this or silhouette come out for the Across the Spider-Verse, maybe it stops at these two unless they make another movie. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make another one, but
this one's a 2-parter.
The thing is after this you kind of have to think that Jordan might not ever do another comic book collaboration. So who knows? Who's to say that in like 5-10 years?
His money.
That's true. But Miles, I mean, I kind of think if you overdo it, well, we're talking about Nike here, and they kind of overdo everything. So.
Overdo it, Nike.
To have the original, though, I mean, I still have the original. I haven't worn them. I'm just gonna hold on to these. I didn't hit on these. I hit for my son in the taller size, but a question for you guys I had is, which do you guys prefer, these or the original?
Hey, there's one thing about the original that I did forget to mention. that there is a special edition box that came out, and those are going for almost 2,300. If you look at there, I think can you see the screen right now? Sorry.
Yeah.
You see the
logo,
the Spider-Verse logo box. Those are, and then go look what someone's asking for one in size 10. Someone's asking 69,424.
9 million.
Do you accept Pepe?
Yeah,
seriously.
I have enough for those.
Ralph's gonna get us. Ralph's gonna get us all a pair for Christmas.
What was the retail on those?
200. Yeah, 200. They had to upcharge. Marvel is gonna charge Nike for that Miles trademark.
You can get some of those for about this, like a little bit more. I mean, I don't know. If you believe,
I didn't like the new ones as much because of that light coloring at the very top. It's not. I know they're just circles or whatever, but it looks off to me just a little bit. But like I said, I'm old as shit. I shouldn't be even wearing these. We're talking about these shoes, but dude, I got my Jordan Jordan Seaman 11s in last week, and Ralph might be able to. Anytime you get an 11, you always get a size up because that patent leather is extra tight and there's no give to it. These motherfuckers are gigantic. I can't wear them. They're so big. So I don't know if they fixed the problem or whatever it was, but normally I'll wear a 12. Like I got a couple pair. I got a cool gray and Concords and the Jordan golf cleats, and I'm a straight 12. And they're still not completely comfortable. These cement 11, 12s are, I'm swimming in them. I got to wear 3 pairs of socks to even not look to the point my fucking toenails.
You got a wide foot or just a regular foot?
I got a little bit of a wider foot. Yeah. I got a weird looking foot. Like if I was barefoot in the snow, there'd be people think I was a fucking Bigfoot if they didn't know better. I'm not even lying.
That's hilarious. Yeah, cool.
Ferg, you want these Balvin Jordans, don't you?
I just want them. I just want them. I've always wanted a pair. I've either been like, oh, I don't want to, it's like a lot of money to spend on whatever, or I'm too old for that. But I'm like, you know what, man? I'm about to turn 41 this month. I'm gonna try and get these for my birthday. So
man, you're not too old for it. People wear those ugly ass Balenciagas all the time, and I'm like,
that's true.
What are these things? Why are these people spending $1,300 on ugly ass shoes?
Oh no, that's not Balenciaga. My bad.
Hold on, Ferd. You've never owned a pair of Jordans?
I've never. No, I always went we
got to get you some for sure.
What size you wear, Ferd?
Your birthday is this month, right?
Whatever.
What
man.
size?
No, you guys no, it's all good, man. I'm not a birthday guy.
I have enough Pepe.
Come on, you do a lot for us, Ferd. What size shoe you wear?
I'm a 9 in Nikes.
Oh damn, 9
sample size, bitch.
That's the
I'm like the word
I'm the worst Ross tomorrow.
Nice. No, I just always want a pair. I've always thought they were clean. They're from what I hear from people, they're the best Jordan to have. I don't know, but yeah, just kind of random. And I saw they're coming out and stuff. So yeah.
Do you want the Powerpuff ones too?
You know what? I think I could pass the Powerpuff ones
to resell. You don't. Yeah, this goes back to me talking about Nike SB and their collabs this year. They've been kind of hitting on everything. So I'm actually kind of excited for this collab. This is just a mock-up. This is not what it's going to look like, but it kind of reminds me of the Grateful Dead dunks. And you know how crazy those went, right, Trey?
Mm-hmm.
These are those ones. I think you're right. These are those ones that I think are going to blow up a few months afterwards because people are going to not sleep on them because of the Powerpuff name. But those light blues and those greens are fucking pretty nice. I could see. And there's people pink's not a horrible color. I can't wear it, but there are people who can wear that pink.
Cameron.
Exactly. And like I said, this is not what it's going to look like. And I have faith that SB is really going to knock these out of the park. I wouldn't wear the Grateful Dead dunks, but that's a really nice shoe. It's not something that I could pull off, but and you saw those were going for $1,500 the day they dropped, and everybody was just going nuts over those.
I saw you dropped a couple of the undefeated raffles for the what's that drink? You want your Oritos? What's that shit?
Yeah,
I can't
those
remember.
I call those. Yeah, I call those the Nike SB Ferds.
That's right. Did you
I
get in
think
on the raffle, Ferd?
No, dude, I couldn't. I didn't get in on it. I was trying to figure it all out, but yeah, and then I got Pepe obsessed. I'm like Pepe obsessed all week, so.
Don't worry, Marcus hit on all of them. He'll hit you up at cost. Just send him a message.
Is that a message? I love it.
He does that even when he's in front of his computer. He'll be like, "Yo, could you get me something? I'll send you money for it."
Market, you literally, we'll send links in a group chat that are 2 messages up.
Yeah.
Marcus will not look up. He just, come on, man, just buy me a pair and I'll send you the money. But he always sends you the money, but it's like, dude, just fucking hit the link up above and do it yourself. No, fam, I can't, man. You're like, you're texting us. How the fuck are you busy?
I just jumped in the car. I did that for him like twice or 3 times. I got him the what was it? The Bored Ape super plastic toys. I did it with the Hebrew shoes. And I'm like, how is this? What are you talking about, bro?
I laughed my ass off. We were doing. Look, everyone is stressing out trying to hit the Spider-Verse. And he sends literally 15 minutes after done. He's like, "Yo, man, if anybody hit an extra 12, hit me up and I'll send Cash App right now." It's just like
the funniest thing is that he didn't even put it in the section of the chat where everybody was talking about it. It was like in the section above. I was like, "What?"
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Marcus isn't the best at Discord. Love
man,
though.
I love his just link, please. On everything, man. It kills me, man.
Funny is you could always tell Vinny's gonna respond when he says some shit like that.
I know, I love it. I love it. The banter back and forth. Well,
but
cool
seriously
stuff.
though, if you guys are into shoes or want to know a little bit more about shoes, drop into our Discord. We got we got sections for Jordans, we got sections for Nike, regular shoes, the whole 9 yards, and it's fun. Like I said, I always get my ass kicked, but it's really cool to see some of our friends hit and hit multiple times on certain things. So, And if you see some shoes that we don't know about, let us know.
Yeah.
So when do the Powerpuffs?
Those are scheduled to hit? End of this year, I believe. I think if it's not end of this year, it's supposed to be the first part or the first quarter of 2024. But yeah, it's still some ways away, but. When I saw him, I was excited right away. I was like, damn, Powerpuff. I would have never thought of that collab, but yeah, SB doing big things.
Last thing, it's not on our but did anyone hit the electric 4s on yesterday?
I haven't. No.
I saw that there was a drop at 9 o'clock and I missed it, but
oh well. Yeah. All right. I know we're trying to kind of venture away from comics and whatnot, but the Discord and our good friend Ultra Maximus, shout out to Ultra. I don't know if you're in the chat, but he had pointed out this Transformers More Than Meets the Eye retailer variant by Roche, and he claims it as the ghost of IDW. And
you want me to go get mine?
You got one?
I got one.
If you got it, I want to see it, man.
It's good. Honestly, and Ultra Maximus can attest that I have one, but it's okay.
I believe
you. It by that in the Unicron, that fucking one variant that was those two are. I've seen 2 of these for sale at one point in time, and when the top 100 variant stuff came out, and I was doing the variant stuff as hard as I was at CBSI, this was one of the ones that I took forever to look for. Absolutely took forever. I finally got one. I think I paid $480 for it on eBay. Shit, this was 7 years ago.
$480?
Yep. What year did it come out, Trey?
I could lie to you. I think it was 2012, but I could be lying to you. Like I said, that's just an estimated guess on.
Yeah.
So was this one hot because scarcity, or was there?
It was that time in comics. It was about that same time in comics when the Del Auto 667 came out. Mm-hmm. People were just not buying comics at all, and a lot of those higher end ratio variants. I mean, a lot of stores weren't buying 20. I mean, to this day, I don't know how many local comic stores are going to be able to sell 25 copies of Star or Transformers. Yeah. I love Transformers, but even before the ratio variant madness kind of, people kind of started figuring out that a lot of these are really, really ghost. And that's the other thing too, is Ultra Maximus is one of the top 10 favorite Transformers characters. And this is an iconic issue. I mean, it's simple. It's got his helmet. It alludes to a few things that go on in the issue. And it's an absolutely fucking ghost.
Yeah, I never heard of it. And I just, like now that I'm being a little more picky about comic book collecting and whatnot, I do like the hunt for those like old school 1 in 50, 1 in 25 books. And I just thought that'd be cool to like, oh, this is an IDW, like quote unquote, ghost. You know what I mean? That'd be really cool to own, because who knows what's going to happen to IDW in like 2 or 3 years. They could go bankrupt. And that's really a ghost, right? So
did they lay off like a bunch of their staff? Was it IDW that did that, or was it somebody else?
I think it was Boom. No, not Boom.
I mean, it makes sense,
I don't
right?
know how Boom stays in business to begin with. Like I said,
Well, they did sell 1 million.
2 days ago.
That's right.
2 days ago.
Shit, I had no idea that Keanu Reeves property. I was thinking, like, I remember when, like, their only property. I mean, they had like Lumberjanes and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the IDW laid off, or it says the headline from 2 days ago was they plan to lay off 39% of its employees.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what that's. I
because they're losing a bunch of their licenses as well, I believe.
Oh,
makes sense, right?
Like, I mean, like on the screen right now, the kids Star Wars is no longer IDW. It used to be, right? So it's now Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I got a question. I missed something. How is Star Wars on Dark Horse and Marvel right now, and they're pumping out new titles each? Is that what did I miss?
It's the same deal as the IDW thing.
Yeah.
It's the kids. It's the kids stories only.
Yeah, right. It's High Republic Adventures versus the Marvel is just the High Republic.
But it's canon, right?
Yeah.
Is that the whole thing? And I kind of want to bring this up, or this has kind of caught my attention, and Pickles, the homie, kind of brought up. It seems like the Star Wars kind of I don't know, FOMO. It's ridiculous. Like every week there's just some stupid new character or whatever. And we're gonna give this book away at the end of the show. I got one and it's like I don't even care about it, honestly. But
yeah, nobody's gonna want it after you talk about it, though.
I know. But
we're giving away something he doesn't want.
My thing is like I don't want people to go out and pay $30 for this book, but I want to reward people to come on the show and give it to you for free. So I don't know. It's all gimmicky to me. If this character makes it, and I read the book and I couldn't even figure out the FOMO of the character. It was just a normal freaking character.
I didn't understand. Okay, so the shards of the lightsaber or something are broken, right? And and they're taking it to, is it a Sith, or I didn't understand why. I couldn't really tell.
I don't know. It was boring to me. I don't know. My personal opinion.
This is why I think comic speculation is so fucking broken. Is because there's absolutely nothing to get excited about except for Spider-Boy and Luke Skywalker breaks his fucking lightsaber. I mean, and that's what people are excited about. The stories are so bad, the art's so bad, and all these fucking books that's what people are excited about. Like they're fabricating excitement about things that don't deserve excitement. Just to continue every week to almost try to enjoy comic books.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about Star Wars speculation I do not understand. I go and look at a lot of these books and their values, and it makes zero fucking sense to me. Perfect example. Has Dr. Aphra made an appearance in anything?
No, there might have been
she hasn't, no.
Not a mention of her, but some sort of something that tied back to her.
Black Crystallian.
Why are her books? Why is that variant worth $1,200 in 9.8 and her first appearance and fourth print? Why is Dr. Aphra worth as much as she is? And I've never seen her in anything other than a Dr. Aphra comic. And then you go down the list of all these characters that are Star Wars, and you look, and you're like, oh, that's their first appearance. Well, it may be their fucking first appearance, but who gives a Frenchman's fuck if they're not in anything that anybody knows what they're in other than a comic book? It doesn't make sense.
Let's hope that there's going to be a payoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Then we can talk about a payoff. Like, remember how we were all excited about Miss Marvel? We were all excited about Riri and Ironheart. And the second that those two came on screen,
that's right.
Yeah.
So is this not what's going to happen with these Star Wars characters? Because I remember when you could go get a 9/8 Star Wars #1, the 1977 version, for $400 every day of the fucking week. This was less than 10 years ago. And now
I think all this is with the Star Wars stuff is going to hinge on the Ahsoka show.
Yeah.
Which,
Like a
you know,
lot.
I've been critical of the casting of Rosario Dawson. It doesn't make sense for a 45-year-old to play a teenager. But I got to give.
She's not a teen in the story anymore. That's the thing. It's
that I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. And her character, it looked good. Like she looked a little bit more mobile, and she looked like she's going to be able to play the character. So I was definitely wrong.
I think the fandom with Star Wars now is that the Rebels and the Ahsoka fans, when they watch it when they're a kid, they're adults now, and so it brings them more of a supply of fans into that era, right? I mean, I think so. My cousin's 26 and he's stoked for it because he watched it when he was a kid, or younger. I don't know. This is an assumption that I kind of have, that they're more excited for like this upcoming Marvel series versus the older stuff. And if you're a completist, I guess, like you're going to want to get Star Wars 1, right? But anyway, that I just think FOMO is just weird right now, and
it is.
Yeah,
it's sad because there's a lot of people that enjoy comic books, much like myself, but there's just nothing to get excited about. I mean, there's just not. I mean, what's crazy is the Batman 900 came out this week, and not a single person in the Discord or any of the Discords that I'm in or friend chats I'm in brought it up. Not one person. And 10 years ago, all five of us would have read it by now and have been talked about it. The Snyder run and things like that, the New 52, everyone is reading Batman. Everyone was reading different, the Avengers, and I guess not the Avengers, but there's so many people reading books and excited about it. And there's no one excited about a title right now. There's not one person that I can point out in our Discords like, man, have you read this book? It's fucking great. I think Dan Piercy said that the Joe Fixit's not bad. That's the only time in the last 2 weeks that I've seen anyone say anything positive about a story.
The what's his name? Mark Millar's Ambassadors is pretty good.
I have not read that. Is that what's that on? What
issue 3 just came out?
Who publishes it?
It's through Image.
Okay.
And they broke their rule that they said there's going to be no second prints, third prints. They're on third print now for #1. So yeah, no, I mean, but Millar, he because he's already written it, and the interesting thing is each issue is a different interior artist. And as a 90s, 80s kid, having Travis Charest doing interiors, I got pretty excited. So
I mean, Millar is a talented guy. You can go back to some of his stuff. I mean, he's one of those guys that if his mind's right and he's dedicated, he's going to throw out some heat. So I'll have to check that out. You think it's good?
It's a good one.
Isn't he like on his 4th or 5th ongoing story with Image, and like everything's supposed to be heading over to Netflix?
Minis.
Yeah, okay.
They're all minis, and the interesting thing is on the back of the book it says there's a Netflix logo on there.
Yeah, everything that he writes is eventually gonna, or it's supposed to hit Netflix, right?
Yeah, there's a deal there's a I guess like an umbrella deal kind of thing where everything is first option with Netflix. Yeah. And one book that I'm excited about is the controversial publisher Bad Ideas doing a new Kickstarter, Megalith. I don't know if you've seen that, but
I get bombarded by their emails constantly.
I know, I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it, but that looks pretty dope.
The Luis LaRosa is amazing. He's an amazing
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing, Megalith.
Yeah, the artwork looks insane.
Scroll down. You want to see interior art? 250 pages.
Wow.
Off the bat, look at this shit.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Who draws it? Sorry,
Luis LaRosa.
Damn, that looks like
It's
Thanos.
interiors. It's
Whoa,
crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, Luis, he is pretty slow, right? But I think they gave him as much time as he needed to do it, and it just looks
that's cool.
insane.
I like that.
That
Actually,
eyeball that you just.
I bought some of his OA back in the day. I was like, man,
Of
he's
course you
too
did.
good.
Oh God.
Got a few comments.
The old Did y'all think Jupiter's Legacy sucked as bad as a lot of people did on Netflix? That was one of those pandemic. what
I
came
couldn't
out
get
during
into
the
that.
pandemic.
I tried.
I mean, whatever. I don't know.
I like
I
the
couldn't even
book.
get into
I like the
Umbrella
book,
Academy.
and it just
Huh.
I would have liked to have seen the second season though, see where they were going with it. You could
Mhm,
tell where they were
mhm.
trying to go with it. It was like
Yeah.
Dawn from
Pushed it
Cincinnati
faster.
on HBO. I'm still
Was
dying
it-
to know what's gonna fucking happen.
Was it really that expensive to do this show, or like I don't know? Netflix was so weird back then. They would like put out shit and then they would take it off right away. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
they
don't
got-
get
they got a
season
short
2
leash.
of Jupiter's Legacy, and they're on season 15 of fucking All American or whatever that shitty fucking high school
Yeah.
show.
And they have a spinoff too.
I
They got a spinoff.
know.
Is that the one with Riri? The actress that plays Riri?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Ferg, you had a post about Riri that got that had a lot of responses by the end of it. I was surprised.
Oh yeah, the
The Invincible Iron Man number 9 variant.
yeah, the Immortal or the what's it called?
4 Horsemen?
Yeah, the Four Horsemen. Yeah, I think a lot of people are pissed about how much money they spent on that book or expecting it to like hold, I never that was made to order too, wasn't it? It wasn't a ratio, was it?
No,
It
I
was
don't
a
think it was
ratio.
made. No,
Was
it
it?
wasn't. It wasn't a ratio.
didn't
I
know
think
that.
everybody thought it was a 1 for 25, but it isn't. I think it was not made to order, but the print
like-
run was a lot higher than people thought.
Dude, same thing with the Captain Marvel 17 second print. There was no rate. I mean, I know multiple retailers that had hundreds of. That's where I got a lot of mine from. Was from a guy in New Jersey
there
that
you go,
had
Paul.
hundreds of copies of that book.
Wow.
For real, damn.
Yep.
You bought a house with that. If you
Yeah,
wanted to.
Wilbur just said it
Buy
was
some
a
Pepe
it was
with
a
that,
qualifier.
man.
You could a couple years ago, but like I said, if you go look and see what the fucking price of Riri and Kamala Khan books have done since their introduction on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I mean, it's bad.
It really, yeah, it
And
really
then
is.
and then the Marvels trailer, I rewatched that
You're so
again
excited.
on Wednesday, and I honest to God don't know how they're gonna put that on the big screen. I mean, if you read what I read that Ant-Man lost money. There's no way that people are going to go watch, especially, I don't know. There's going to be guys take their daughters and shit like that to it. I understand that. But it looks so bad to me. Like, I'm not going to. Tonight in Deadpool, I'm going to go watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 here in about 30 minutes. And I'm going to go watch Deadpool 3. But other than that, I don't know where I'm going to spend my next money on Marvel movies, to be completely honest with you guys. I'm tired of spending $18 a fucking IMAX ticket and walking out disappointed.
I like Kamala. I think I like her character, or I like her as an actress. I think she does a really good job as a character.
I don't think they're doing any favors with that costume.
Yeah,
That's true.
Costume
true,
kind of suck.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally looks
It was
like
good
something that would
casting.
have been on
I
the
agree with that. It was
CW
good
10 years
casting.
ago.
It was good casting.
it does.
The
It
casting's
looks
good.
CW-ish. Yeah, you're right about that.
And Brie Larson is just, you can just tell she doesn't want to be there. I don't know how else to explain it. Like I like Captain Marvel. I like Carol as a character. I think that you could have done so much more with her as a character if they would have found. I mean, like I said, have you all seen the Brie Larson running thing? I mean, she's the least athletic human being that has ever been a superhero. Like, they had to teach her how to fucking run. I'm dead serious. Y'all Google this shit. Like, she didn't know how to run properly, and they had to teach her how to run. And that they said that they're severely limited with a lot of this stuff because of her unathletic ability. And it's like,
Really?
this is our fucking Captain Marvel. Dude, I swear to
hilarious.
God.
It'd be
I'll
cool.
find it and send it.
The only thing that'd be cool about Marvels is if Rogue came in and stole her powers, and that was introduction to X-Men.
I would fucking get up in the theater and start fucking shooting guns and shit in the fucking air. If that happened, I would be so excited.
Wouldn't that be just
Sucks.
like freaking
Sucks
awesome?
all of her life out of her and just leaves her as a fucking decrepit corpse.
Like dry,
Fucking
like a
off.
prune, you know?
Absolutely.
I don't
like
know.
that
I don't know
one
about
cover.
that. But yeah. That'd be
That would be
badass though,
actually-
wouldn't it?
Dude, that would be. Oh man, I just got excited thinking about that.
There's your speculation for the night, everybody. Have a good
The
night.
X-Men just come and kill all these shitty new Avengers they're about to push down our throat.
Right.
The Young Avengers.
I had a question for everybody, just in regards to like shifting from comics and going into magazines. So we've been talking about magazines a lot. So I think, and I've got kind of like feedback from Southpaw Brad, some friends and other Discords I'm in, and I'm like, do you guys think the magazine market is like, it's too soon to actually go out and grade and try and sell them? So now you should kind of just like spend $5 on a first mention of like Michael Jordan or Albert Pujols.
Nice.
And then kind of maybe let the market kind of figure it out, or is it time to start subbing those and start putting them in the market? What do you guys think is like the best strategy right now?
I think you nailed it, Ferd. I think it's buy cheap, start speculating, try to figure out first appearances, first articles, things like that. Keep them in a box, keep them protected. And once the grading situation, that's the thing is CGC is so behind on the grading. From what I've understand and from what comments I've seen in our Discord, is it's between 6 and 8 months on getting your magazines back, and they're expensive as shit to grade.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time sending off 5 magazines for $250 and having to wait that time period to see where the market's at, because it's such a fledgling new market, and every day there's new discoveries. Like I said, our friend Stephen Dalton posted in the magazine section 2 days ago about the very first time King Griffey Jr. was mentioned in a Sports Illustrated. And we got to figure out what people want. Are they wanting the first cover appearance? Is the first, box article mentioned in a name what people want? It's so new and everything else. I just don't think that's what makes it exciting to me, though, is because there's a lot of stuff people don't know about, and you're able to find things. And I mean, you can go to Facebook Marketplace and magazine lots or fucking, because there was a point in time people were, everyone's always collected High Times #1, the Marilyn Monroe Playboys, a couple of the different Playboys and things like that. But like Rasper just said, was some of the prices of these Nintendo Powers?
Yeah.
I mean, how many other things? I mean, and 78 Points held it up. I mean, a lot of those Japanese, magazines, mangas that are, I don't know the difference between the magazine size and like the trade paperbacks, but like the first appearance of Goku, the first appearance of Vegeta, One Piece, that's what I mean. Like, they're too thick to grade right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whenever that gets figured out, those are going to blow up. I mean, we talked about it. One Piece is the biggest anime on the planet. Dragon Ball's not too far behind. In America, Dragon Ball probably reigns supreme, but overseas, Luffy. I mean, those are going to be the Miles Moraleses, the Harley Quinn, the Batman Adventure 12s. When people figure that out, and when that market starts to, sort itself out, those are going to be couple $1,000, items, and they're going to be there fairly quickly, in my opinion.
Cool. Yeah,
I think there's something there for sure.
It's fun to research too, kind of like, I just like today Pujols was like I was thinking about the greatest per decade, and Pujols to me, it's like Pujols and Ichiro, just because Ichiro's like pound for pound best. He didn't have power, but dude, he could throw a baseball from right field to third base on like that. But
he
Pujols,
has sneaky power though. That's the thing about Ichiro is if he needed to hit a home run, he could hit a home run. He was just more of a get on base at any
base
cost.
hitter. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Old school,
right.
But Pujols is technical, very technical, and just he didn't want to hit for power. He wanted to get on base. But Pujols was like kind of like one of my favorite players ever. And there's like 3 different times he's mentioned in Sports Illustrated in 2001. And they mention him by name. They have an article about him, and then there's like a playoff like cover, I want to say. So it's like, you get all 3 for $15 and just kind of see what the market says? I don't think it's a bad idea. It's really interesting to me to kind of research it and kind of just look back. And it's like I said, it's really cheap. You can find not highest grade, but like pretty good condition magazines that are like 20 to 25 years old. So. Anyway, well, good stuff. I was really curious what you guys thought.
Real quick. This was random, but I watched one of those YouTube kids. They're called Good. They're a bunch of golfers out of Kansas City. And AJ Pujols, Albert's son, is best friends with the lead guy named Garrett. He's on the channel all the time. Albert Pujols' son can fucking hit a golf ball. He's a really good. He's not just a long ball hitter too, but his name's AJ. You got to check it out, Ferd. He's a pretty cool kid. He's
Cool.
real humble.
Yeah, like his dad, right?
I still think his dad was on fucking the juice, but that's another time and place.
It's possible, right? It's possible.
Everyone was on.
You
the
go
juice.
look at Pujols' rookie year to where he fucking is now. Nah, that ain't fucking chicken and steak.
You know, this, I don't know, Trey, if you remember this guy, Ryan Franklin. He was a pitcher for the Cardinals, right? Do you remember him?
Remember left-hander.
Yeah, he was on roids and he was tiny.
Who was the god damn it? He was a center fielder for the fucking Orioles. He was the poster child for steroid performance.
Brady
Anderson,
Yes.
right?
Brady Anderson, right?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
remember Brady Anderson?
Yeah, the sideburns, the chops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he had
that.
he had a 40-40 year, didn't he? Or close to it at one
He
point.
hit
in time, I
like
forget.
he tied the record with Griffey for most home runs in consecutive games. It was like 7 or 8, and it was like he had like 12 the previous year or something. So those good times though. That the juiced era, man. I gotta be admitted.
Oh, I personally think they should fucking let him juice up.
Yeah.
Like, get juice to the gills and see if we can't hit 80, 90 home runs. You want to talk about getting some fucking fans in the seat? Let's get the doctors
Juice them up
involved.
again.
Let's let the HGH and the fucking Diana ball start flowing again. Like I said, I'm all for it. The thing about it, though, with the HGH and the steroids, there'd be less injuries potentially.
Mhm.
That's true.
You know, there could be more injuries. I know the whole deal about the ligaments and this and that. But I know that they said HGHG is really good for healing and a bunch of different stuff. If we're gonna pay these guys, $250 million contracts over 8-9 years, let's fucking go. Let's get them Brock Lesnar. Let's get them Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem up, and let's fucking watch.
Dude, so many people say that same thing too. So I mean, this is what it is. But cool, I love it. 78, man. You are up next, my friend.
Oh yeah, sure. So
Yep.
just quickly, because it was May the 4th, so there was some Star Wars reveals, some Black Series and some Vintage Collection, which is the original scale. Yeah. This one I'm kind of excited for. It's a battle damaged one, because Black Series is, I think, the only one that there's a kit that's 112, but the Bandai one SHF was previewed years ago and they've never delivered. So I never picked this up originally because I was hoping for the Bandai one and it never came. So nice to get this without paying exorbitant prices. Yeah, we're getting some more gaming.
Is that
Sith
Malgus?
guys. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's coming out.
By
And
the
the
way,
big
Gino
reveal
Gradius had the
was
best movie voice of all time. Too cool.
so yeah, the big reveal was this. So we're getting snips. You mentioned Ahsoka. This is definitely hype leading into the show. We will get the show figures, of course, but this is, early Clone Wars when she was still young, and so snips. Yeah, Vintage Collection. I don't know about this one. If you remember that Ewoks cartoon shit.
Yeah, dude.
Back in the day. So they're giving you the small figures from this shit. There are some other reveals. The weird thing, some comments some of my friends were saying, like the Wicket down here in Black Series, he's out right now or just came out recently, and they're doing another one. We're getting another bucket here, Axe's bucket. He was a bit of a bitch in the last Mando season, so I don't know how well that's gonna sell. Clone Troopers, the army builder figures always do well. Some pipeline reveals which upset some people. We're gonna get the 5th fucking version of the Heavy Mando here.
Pez
I don't know.
Vasilev.
Maybe they'll give him another little accessory, but they've literally had 4 releases in the last 2-3 years. Yeah. Some first appearances on the right there. And we're getting another Bo-Katan. I mean, it looks like the same image from before. And we're getting another fucking Darth and Luke. And another trooper. It's like this whole slide here. It's just, we've had it all. I don't think they're going to give you anything new, maybe slight paint app differences. But looking at the images here, there's no engineering developments or anything, man. The big news in my circle of friends was this. Cooler. It's SH Figure Arts Bandai. It is an exclusive. so it's only officially sold through the Bandai store. There are some reseller stores that are picking it up. It is a bit pricey because of that. And the chrome plating, everyone's a bit worried. And how's that going to last? If you play around with your figure, is it going to start chipping? And so you're looking at like $100 to $120 shipped for this figure. And
How tall is it?
He's a 112, so 6-inch.
Okay.
Yeah, 6-inch, and he's supposed to be an army builder, meaning in the show there was multiple, right? So people who are real fans are like, shit, I want to get 3 or 4 of these. It's $500, man. So
wasn't he
people are a bit
only in the
upset.
movies though? Technically, Cooler has not been in any of the continuity. He's basically just been in the movies.
He's
right?
a movie
I might
character,
be off.
correct? Yeah. Yes. No,
He
you're right,
sucked
man.
too,
You're right.
kind of, didn't he?
Like I've said before, I don't do Z and onwards, man. I know the stories, I've watched it, but it's not my thing.
Dude, his older brother is fucking Black Freezer right now, and he's the most powerful being in the universe. That's what's pretty cool is that's what they're trying to lead up to in the manga right now. Is they're basically doing the last Dragon Ball Super movie where Gohan goes to Beast Gohan and Piccolo, and then the Perfect Cell, and Broly's training with the God of Destruction and Beerus, and Wiz up and that and this and that. It's going to be interesting to see. But at the end of the last arc, Frieza revealed himself, and he found a hyperbolic time chamber and trained for the equivalent of 10 years. And he absolutely blew through Super Saiyan 4, Goku, and Vegeta. And just to let them know that he was on a completely different level than them. So that's where the whole universe is going. I'm 43, by the way. I'm that big of a fucking nerd. I'm that
You've been
big
reading
of a
and following
pussy.
for 25 years, right?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't start reading the manga until the Tournament of Power, the big one, because I just wanted to know what was going on, and I hated waiting for the episodes to drop.
Right? Yeah.
It does come out quite a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But I'm too stupid. Like trying to read manga, that fucking backwards flow, that the way it goes, my brain just shuts down, starts getting headaches and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, if I read manga too much, then I go back to Western comics. I'm fucked up. Like I get stuck in one mode. And then I'm like, fuck, you got to reset. Yeah.
I don't feel bad then.
Hey, if you, me and the guys, Omar, Johnny, and a couple other, and Will Flo and Bancho and all that, we do a toy news thing every week. Lost Cause Collective. We go deep dive into usually the 1/12 action figures. Because there is news every week, and it gets this third party indies, just like in comics, there's a lot of indie companies that do unlicensed shit, and some of those are better than the big companies, man. And we go at least 2 hours on toys, action figures every week. So
it's Saturday night, right?
No more. Yeah,
that has been added to the to our OTR friends of the podcast too. So if you guys are interested in that, every time that they post, you'll get a live notification letting you guys know when those guys are cooking. And like 78 said, I mean, Omar's been between Omar and 78 Pointers, they've done so much education to so many people on action figures, and like he said, every day almost you're getting to see more and more links and things like that from really cool stuff that's coming out. So we appreciate you guys. Like I said, this is the kind of stuff that when we started OTR, I wanted to learn more about. I wanted to figure out what people were speculating on when it comes to action figures and just things that I wasn't necessarily aware of. And you guys have done a really good job on educating a lot of us. We appreciate it for real.
Omar, he definitely is the guy who knows about everything. Like, I don't speculate with toys so much because I open everything and I use them in photos and things. Omar's quick. Like he gets, he's like, all right, I got to move this now. And he moves his stuff.
Shout out to
he gets a feeling that there's going to be a re-release because they do that, like a second print kind of thing.
Shout out real quick to Taylor Harder here. She's on Twitch. If you guys are on Twitch, give her a follow. She's I don't know if she just got back from Thailand, but she was in Thailand for a couple weeks so thanks for stopping through.
Oh, it's a legit person.
Thought it was a bot.
I'm not gonna lie.
Russian bots are
was like her last name threw me for a loop in her photo. I was like, what have we got going on here?
No, she's real.
No,
she's real.
Yeah, I thought somebody was trolling.
All right.
Welcome.
We just fucked up our only chance of having her to guest the too. After that.
She's like, what?
She's messaging Fred right now. These fucking pieces of shit.
Well, thanks, man.
Too
That
good
was
to be true. It was too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. Thanks, 78. Just we're glad to have you back on the show whenever you can, and appreciate your knowledge and the good stuff. So yeah, appreciate it, man. Crypto section. I think all of us have been talking about Pepe at nauseum. I was up until like 1 o'clock yesterday trying to figure out all this type of stuff about just how NFTs, crypto works and all that. But yeah, Pepe to the moon. I think we talked about, did we talk about this last week? I honestly can't remember, Ralph. Or...
We did.
Okay. How's it done so far since we talked about it? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, I think when we talked about it last week, it was around 300 to 350 market cap. And at the moment, I think it's pushing $1 billion. You know, and the coin's only been, you know, this all started about 3 weeks, maybe 16 days ago. I bought in at $2 million market cap. So I've never seen anything like this. I mean, Doge is kind of the only thing I can compare it to. But you know, Doge took months, and it took Elon pushing it, and you know, him going on SNL to kind of send it to the moon. And this is just basically started on Twitter. It's gone viral on Twitter. I'm not too active on Instagram and TikTok, so I don't know if it's hit there. But
you made a post on Instagram yet?
No, I don't think so. Dude, I'm
not too active.
Not at all. Yeah, 78 hit me up like, is this you? Yeah, it's me, man. But I think my first post might be Pepe. But yeah, it's life-changing gains. There's stories about one of the guys that bought Pepe at $27, and he's up to about $4 million. Yeah, it's some of this stuff doesn't even seem real. But Ferd, I know you bought some, right? You've made life-changing money.
I mean, you know, I'm about to quit the show. I don't need this anymore. No, it's. I mean, I come from a pretty old school finance background, and so for me to get NFTs and just kind of like, just roll the dice with it. It's actually been very like educational for me, because now that I'm like in it, and I went in really small. I bought like $50 worth, and now it's like triple times or maybe quadruple. I can't remember exactly, but it's. Once you're kind of in it, you're kind of forced to find knowledge about what pushes it, what makes it, what market cap means, what holders mean. I never, that was not a term, like in regular finance when you're buying equities or bonds. So honestly, like it's a very interesting concept, this whole crypto NFT thing. And the utility part, it kind of fascinates me as well. But like Pepe, right? It has this, you stated that it's had kind of an organic growth because of the history behind it, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the god tier meme of the internet, right? I think everybody that's watching, all of us know what Pepe is. We've seen the meme before. Mm-hmm. It's just, you can have a conversation with somebody over text with, basically Pepe memes, and, you understand the conversation. I think people of the internet, people that, are on Reddit, on 4chan, that meme resonates with them, and this kind of just has taken off.
Yeah, y'all just fucking y'all have ruined our group chat with this Pepe shit every day.
Oh my god, yeah.
Between the memes, between Ferd and Ralph and fucking Marcus, it's just all day long. Just every day they're getting richer. Ralph showing us yachts he's looking at. It's just getting fucking out of hand every day. Ralph's like, should I buy this necklace or should I buy this one? We're like, all right, come on, Ralph.
I mean,
fucking.
It is meme coin season, so this is the time. There's a lot of excitement for this nonsense. But
it's so nonsense, but it's so interesting at the same time.
Yeah.
What's your legit exit strategy, guys? Like, what does it have to hit for you guys to bail and get out of Dodge?
Whatever Ralph says.
Right? But here's the thing about Zo. Ralph has been doing the NFTs from Jump Street. I mean, he's one of the guys that were picked up on how to do the NFTs early on in the pandemic. He's up on the trends and things like that. So I don't think you're necessarily wrong to follow his lead on this. But
Yeah.
I mean, where are you thinking?
It's tough, and the only reason, and not because I've been in or I know NFTs and I've been in it for a couple years, the only reason I even caught Pepe as early as I did is because I participate every single day on Twitter. I'm active on NFT Twitter, crypto Twitter, and I saw it early. And I mean, I didn't throw much. I threw in what I was comfortable losing, and what I was in my head is like, okay, if this goes to zero, I'm okay with it. And I don't have a problem with it. But I mean, to answer your question as far as exit strategy, mine's was, if this ever gets listed on a centralized exchange like a Binance or a Coinbase, that's when I would sell some of my bag and keep a moon bag off to the side. But I thought this was going to happen maybe 3-4 months down the line. But this has only been 3 weeks, and there's rumors of this being listed on centralized exchanges already. So
No,
yeah,
really?
yeah, Gemini.
Mhm.
I think Gemini and Binance are the rumors that have been circulating. But
I think the key is I was listening to something by CZ from Binance the other day, is that he'll list something. He wasn't specifically talking to Pepe, but he'll list a coin, but he wants it to have longevity. He doesn't want to list something that, for example, Degen coin or potentially WSB, Wall Street Bets coin, like some of these things that are just maybe fly by night. He don't want to list those. So I think that's a real factor. So if exchanges are listing it means something for real. So
You don't find that this it's just one of those cycles, just like sped up because there hasn't been one for a minute, and this
absolutely.
thing. My question is like, are you aware of who the whales are in this?
That's the thing. The
Like,
distribution.
which groups?
We are.
So
The $50. Yeah.
Bird specifically.
No, so that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up, 78. So comparing it to Doge and comparing it to SHIB, where the distribution of that token is, the whales owned. I think for SHIB it's around 20% of the supply, and for Doge I think it's even more lopsided. But the distribution for Pepe it was kind of a low-key launch. Not too many people knew about it, and it kind of caught like wildfire. So the distribution, the top holders, they only control about 4% of the token. So this is one of the most evenly distributed tokens, and this is why I also think it's kind of going to the moon organically, is because the barrier to entry. This is when I was talking about it to you guys, I was like, okay, this is underneath 1 billion market cap. And SHIB is 6 billion, Doge is 12 billion, but who really cares about Doge memes or even SHIB memes? So if Pepe, the god tier meme, is at around $500 million market cap, this can easily do 1 billion, 2 billion, right? And that's just conservative. I think it might go higher than that, but yeah, it definitely. I don't. This isn't financial advice, Ferd. Do you have the?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't say a word.
There's a reason that Ferd's our financial guy. When you got a headset like that, you got to be our financial guy.
I stopped speaking.
Customer service, man.
Put that up.
You can tell Ferd's on the phone making deals and shit like all day. Like he's hitting buttons, telling motherfuckers to buy, sell, trade, all kinds of shit.
No. My thing with the Pepe stuff, it's still because it is a meme coin.
Right.
My thing would be like, be highly, like the exit strategy question, right?
Yeah.
If you got to have that in place so you can get out in seconds.
Oh yeah.
Ralph's not sleeping. He's just staying up all night with his fucking hand on the button, looking at that chart.
I told you guys, I'm done looking at the hourly chart. I was looking at holders, and the holders. It's going crazy. It's going to be at 100,000 holders in 17 days, which is unheard of. It took months for SHIB to even reach this holder count, and like I said, 17 days is just crazy. I'm definitely riding the wave, but like you said, 78. I do have an exit strategy. Mine's was the central exchange listings, taking some out and riding the moon bag, And
So yeah, just as a technical question, you have to flip it into another stable coin to get it out? Or
yeah, so you can the right now you would have to go on Uniswap and swap it to ETH, Bitcoin,
yeah,
USDT, something like that.
Mhm.
But ETH is the popular option. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Question
it-
for
And then you
you.
got a strategy how to get that out of your ETH into.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Question
Yeah,
for
you can just send it.
Yeah,
question for you,
That's the
Ralph.
thing. Like out here, it's tough, man. Like to cash
Oh.
that out
Oh,
without
I
getting
bet.
caught, without getting nabbed. It's tough, man. And that was the thing. Like you have it there, and you're just like, oh fuck, you just see it just going down, down, down. You're like, I can't get it
Yeah.
out. I can't get it out.
Yeah.
I can't do this shit.
Damn.
I take it out, I'm gonna get taxed.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Ralph, like, let's say SHIB holders and Dogecoin holders are like, man, I want to get into, Pepe.
You're still a
So-
holder in SHIB and Doge? Damn.
Their market caps are pretty big, right? So if I understand that correctly,
Yeah.
I may
are.
not be, but is it possible to so basically taking like coming at it from like a supply and demand kind of situation, right?
Mhm.
If the demand in SHIB and Doge falters because the demand in Pepe increases because it's the new big thing,
Right.
that could push the market cap, right? And you can easily move from SHIB to Pepe. Is that right?
Yeah, you can go on Uniswap or Pancake Swap and swap your SHIB or Doge
Mhm.
for Pepe. I think it's a lot easier now because Pepe, the contract has been verified, everything's legit, so it's a lot easier to do that. But that's actually what's been happening is people have been dumping their bags from SHIB and Doge and going into Pepe. Same thing with NFTs. I just saw something on Twitter where somebody floored a trippy bored ape. That's the bored ape that has a bunch of eyes and it has the pink fur. One of the more rare bored apes. They floored that NFT and they went all in into Pepe. So the conviction from the whales is there, and I mean, like I was telling you, Ferd, throw in what you spend on comics and comic grading in a month, and just sit on it, just wait and see what happens. It's not on a centralized exchange as money. In my personal opinion, it's still early. The wave, this still hasn't hit Doge level of hype and mania. So
No, not at all.
I mean, my exit strategy is when it's like Pepe's here and then Bitcoin's like the second. That's my exit strategy right there. Not financial advice. Not financial.
Definitely not financial advice there, man.
Please do your own research.
Please do all
Yeah.
of your own research.
Oh god, yeah.
Cool stuff, man. Really like, and I am not an NFT crypto like expert whatsoever, but just this whole thing has me very excited of how it all works. And so, thanks for suggesting it, man. It's been kind of fun. But even more fun, Vinny went to a Beeple event this past weekend, and he's got some good stuff. So let me get your stuff real quick here, Vinny.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to put it this way. I'm not, it's not just because I went to an event that I want to talk about it. This was probably the coolest event I've ever been to, and there is a collector aspect to it as well. So I feel like it fits with what we talk about. So that's why I wanted to go through it. And not only that, Beeple is now, obviously, if people don't know, he's the one who sold the NFT for $69 million a couple years ago. He's kind of been catapulted to this level, like, of a new contemporary fine artist as well. And I'll be honest, I used to look at some of his work and I'd be like, whatever, it's just like Photoshop trash, sort of, it's like, to be honest. But then when I was there at the event, he does some really cool shit, actually. And I was like, damn, this guy is actually like pretty freaking good. The other interesting thing about him is that he's done a piece every single day for I think for the last like 13 or 14 years.
Yeah.
So he calls them every day. So what this was, basically, I got invited to this thing. I brought a buddy of mine with me. Actually, our families went down, took the kids to the beach, and it was in Charleston, South Carolina. So, yeah. And at nighttime, me and my buddy went out to this thing, It was in partnership with the Gibbs Museum of Art, which is like the, you know, they have this thing called Art Charleston out there, and it's like their whole sort of art thing, kind of like a Miami Art Basel sort of thing, but not as quite as big. So Beeple, he's from South Carolina, from Charleston, so he actually built built this massive facility there that's just in the middle of nowhere, and it's for him to do like interesting events and to showcase specifically NFT artists. That's like the whole thing behind it. So I have some pictures here. He kind of goes through like the older years of what he was doing, like really into like tech, into music. So he's got kind of like this retro room where this shows a lot of his early stuff that he was doing. All super cool stuff.
Are those glued down? Or you just...
they're glued down. Now this room was showing all the everydays up until now. So it was every single piece that he's done. So just, you know, this collage essentially of all of them on this big wall. So it was really cool, man. And then he had individual pieces. They were all on electronic screens. Some of them were animating, some of them were still, but I mean, like something like this, I'm actually like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool piece, you know. He had guys walking around the room dressed as Jeff Bezos, Andy Warhol, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Kim Jong-un, Beeple himself, Picasso. It was hilarious. And apparently these masks that they're wearing are like $20,000 masks. So it was just some wild. You have these guys walk up next to you, and you're just like, man, this is such a weird party.
I actually saw the picture of Mark Zuckerberg getting arrested. People actually thought it was Mark Zuckerberg.
What the hell?
I caught that on video, actually. I do have the video. I don't have it for this, but I have the video of him getting arrested and being taken out.
Yeah. Why did he get arrested?
It was just.
I think it was a joke.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yeah,
I legit got arrested.
It was interesting because the first hour of this was walking in and going through this whole gallery space, and just, you know, seeing the art, etc. And then it kind of moved over. So we can keep rolling a little bit, but. He just had all these pieces kind of in the gallery space. These are all the guys dressed up in the masks, like a bunch of them, all in one.
So weird,
bro. It was so weird. It was like just like this weird, trippy, like surreal experience. Look at this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fucking hilarious, man.
Is that Elon? That's Elon, right?
Yeah.
But that's his shit. I mean, that was his thing. Like, you know, he kind of blew up putting these figures into his art.
Yep.
Oh my god. So
absolutely. So this was at the beginning when you first walked in. He had this piece that was, you know, obviously a Beeple piece, but it was everybody could tag it. So everybody who came in, they could take a marker and you know, write whatever they want on there. You know, sign their name, whatever, draw something. So this was everybody was kind of taking a paint pen and going right on and doing their thing.
Vinny wrote OTR, right?
There it is. There it is.
Yep, and of course
Pepe.
somebody had to put Pepe on there, so you know it's
To the moon.
to the moon, guys.
I love it. I'm so glad you got a picture of that. Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, absolutely. I did that on purpose. I did that just for this.
That's awesome.
And then I have some video. These are all from the space a little bit, but these are some of his like NFTs on like rotating.
I'm just videographer, and I got all the behind the scenes. Building each trade,
This is that first room.
That's cool.
This was like the AI animated art. I guess he had kind of done some exploration in that realm as well. So he started doing some of this stuff.
Can someone buy that whole thing?
I think. I mean, nothing was for sale here, but
Okay.
yeah. But I'm sure presumably at some point in time, somewhere, probably would be for sale. Now this was really cool. This was like all the little videos that he did for like famous musicians like Eminem, Lady Gaga, like all types of. I didn't realize he did all these videos for people, like or these visualizers for people. So that was something that I learned when I was over there. Yeah, look at that. Crazy. So basically, stop.
Oh, hold on.
So once go back one. Okay, so basically after the whole gallery part of it, you walk into this other room, and it's like this room with all these screens, as you can see, right? So he was showcasing his artwork, other upcoming NFT artists on this space. Actually, other well-known NFT artists, I should say, on this space. It was really cool, and it kept changing throughout the whole sort of function. You know, it was like DJs playing stuff. There was a cart with somebody like it was just like bacon hanging by like these little like you know, like hooks and like Funyuns. Somebody was carrying like a backpack like with a rack full of Funyuns. It was like all these random food items. But yeah, it was kind of bizarre, but it was really cool.
This is dope.
Wait, is that Mario? Yeah, right.
Mario too, man.
Pikachu.
So okay, so well, all right, and this is kind of afterwards. After I came out, you can kind of see the whole space, sort of with nobody in it. But I just wanted to take a little bit of it just so you can see what it all sort of looked like, you know,
scale.
as people were walking through it. This was actually on my way out.
Cool.
So, okay, so and this is I had people embellish a print that I just picked up. There was like a print just somewhere. I picked it up and I asked him.
What did I say? You got.
He killed it. He put like all this stuff all over it. And so the coolest part was while we were in that big room, he started doing one of his everydays live, right? And so as he's doing that, there are QR codes bouncing on the screens all around the room. And if you scan the QR codes fast enough, you're getting one of Beeple's everyday, which is a $20,000 NFT
Crazy.
right there. And there were like tons and tons of people getting these, but the QR codes were like bouncing around like this, moving, you know, and as soon as you claim it, if you don't get it, then it gives you this like funny message where you actually don't even know whether you got it or not, because you got to read all the way down. And one of them, he was just messing with people. He was like, he was like, "Oh wow, you're so lucky to be here, and you're so lucky to have scanned this." And then he's like, "But before we get into it, how are you doing today?" And he's like going through like all this random stuff, and he's like, "Oh, but sorry, you actually did not win an NFT." And you're like, "Ah, oh, you're wasting my time."
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he had printers in the ceiling on these black boxes. And at the end, there was a count. After he finished his piece, there was a countdown on the screen and like a siren. And the printers started printing limited edition prints from the ceiling.
Oh, shit.
Like 1 of 6s, 1 of 100s. So these are the QR codes that were bouncing. And then once somebody scans them, they're gone. So yeah, just like that. You know, there were like old women grabbing like $20,000.
What was the crowd like? What was the crowd like?
I mean, it was a few hundred. It was probably like 300-400. This is the message I got. It says, "Nope, this is awkward. This is really something that you would never want to have to tell a person to their face. It's just that moment that you dread, hearing those awful words pointed in your direction. I'm sorry you did not win an NFT, and then you wake up in a cold sweat, pretty much just covered in your own ejaculate. But that is really neither here nor there. Let's just ignore that part." And then it just keeps on going. And you're like, "Yo, man, what the hell?" So, but these are the types of messages you would get if you didn't win, and then you just keep on trying to scan. So this is actually a wall full of the prints that were falling from the sky. So after you get it, they had all these, and then he started just randomly signing in the middle of the dance floor. So people were trying to get him to sign these prints that had just fell down.
Dude, that is, you live an interesting
cool.
life, Vinny. I mean,
But that event, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, remember when Banksy was in New York and he just set up a stand full of art and he put $30 on it and he hired some like guy to just sell it in an afternoon. And I remember that because I was actually in New York at the time. I was staying in Columbus Circle, about 2 blocks away from where it was happening. Totally did not go over there or see it, but I was like, damn, I could have just walked a couple blocks over, and that I may have bought one of those, just because I'm like a graffiti fan. And this felt very Banksy, it felt very Banksy-ish. And I just thought it was really cool. And with the name that people has, I'm just like, man, this is kind of like setting a cool precedent for him, not only as an NFT artist, but also as a fine artist. And it really got me also thinking about, because I've been collecting fine art for some years now, especially like a lot of these newer artists. It kind of started for me, 78, with a lot of the designer toys, because a lot of those designer toy guys are becoming real fine artists that you see at Art Basel or you see in these museums of fine art and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about down the road, maybe just forming a list and, talking through some of my picks for people who I think are going to be kind of, blow up further in the future. So
it's freaking badass, dude. Like, for real. It's fucking badass.
You know what it was? I kind of thought it was like, the reason I think I loved it even more was that it was like a collector's dream. You know what I mean? He's like, you have a chance to win like these like super expensive NFTs. Prints are falling from the ceiling. The guy, one of the biggest fine artists, you can get him to just sign it if you're able to grab one of these things. I was just like, I was kind of in heaven, guys. I was like, this is amazing.
Did he have his everyday that he sold for 69 million? Was it, as far as that everyday, is that the one where somebody's wearing like a spacesuit and they're kneeling down to that like small little flower? Is that the one that?
I'm actually not sure which one it is. I don't know which one. For 6. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure, because I know there's one where Elon is walking a Doge dog, and he's like super like bulked up. I'm not sure if it's that one or the one I mentioned that is the $69 million sold NFT.
So you're gonna transfer your Pepe to?
I'm not touching the Pepe.
That's his extra.
Pepe's all mine. Give me all the Pepe. Cool. Well, thanks, Vinny. That
was dope, man. Yeah.
You always like come with the diamonds and the roughs.
Yes,
on the show, man. I hate to follow you, but this is what we're gonna do. Trey's not in the chat right now, but I figure I ask you guys too. NFL draft's over. I feel like, I was thinking like, oh, okay, cool. Anthony Richardson's probably going to be like the hot guy that everyone's going to be after. Of course, CJ Stroud, a home dude from Bryce. I can't remember his name. We went first overall. The Bryce kid from Alabama. But you know what? And then I thought about it. I was like, I'm probably not going to buy any of these NFL draft, these new rookies, because football is so tough. Probably buy a Shohei. I actually have
a cherry.
Not great. Do you guys even collect football cards at all? And
personally, I don't. I mean, I think with football, it's usually the quarterbacks that garner the most money. And as far as like buying product, I mean, the Prism that had Joe Burrow was, I think that was the last time I actually bought NFL product. Mm-hmm. But it was just to flip Prism, the boxes, mega boxes, that sort of stuff. But I did rip, but ripping that is pretty much setting your money on fire. So I don't really I do follow football, but as far as the hobby and collecting sports cards, I don't really dabble too much in NFL.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I do. Yeah. I mean, like quarterbacks and players that I like, I'll try to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll get like hometown guys and maybe like a college guy I follow that went to my college or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, like NFL is not. I don't rip NFL packs ever, and so I was probably just gonna take a pass like for now. You know, whatever. But and then I don't know if you guys know who these guys are, but these four dudes made the minor league April team basically. So like they're like the MLB puts out or the minor leagues put out like a team that was the best in as far as prospects are concerned. So I picked a few of these guys. Trey's talked about Christian Encarnacion Strand. I don't know if he got recently promoted, but there's assumptions that he may actually get promoted to like the big leagues this year. He plays for the Reds. I guess he played his ball in Oklahoma, and he's been tearing the cover off the ball. I don't know how old he is, but it might be a good idea to pick up his rookie card. Are you guys interested in this guy at all?
On Encarnacion Strand,
Yeah.
I think his prices are, they're super high at the moment. If he takes a dip, I might pick his card up, but I think for me personally, that train has passed because his card is it's up there. Yeah.
I was out of all these guys, I think Junior Caminero, he's the dude from Tampa.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna take him a while to get up there, so that might actually be like if you're willing to do a long-term hold and risk a little bit. But Tampa always puts out like good players, man. I mean, they have the lowest payroll in the league, but for whatever reason, man, Tampa's always in the hunt. I mean, they got Wander and their pitching staff's awesome, and their prospects are always just like, I don't know what the heck they're feeding him down there in Florida, but I felt that was like actually a pretty good investment for longer term. Just because I don't think he'll get called up.
Yeah, Caminero, his week last week was just nuts. He was just tearing the cover off the ball. His card skyrocketed right after that. So I mean, if you're looking for his auto or his first Bowman, I would maybe wait a couple weeks. But one guy that is on Tampa Bay that he was tearing it up last year in the minors, but hasn't really reached those levels yet, but is still a really good prospect is Curtis Mead. I think he's a first baseman for Tampa Bay. I think he's not going to be a Julio Rodriguez, but he definitely will be a solid everyday big leaguer once he reaches that level. His cards last season, his base autos were going for about 100. I think now you can get him for about 70-ish, 60-ish.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And I think that's because Caminero has kind of taken some of the
spotlight.
publicity. Yeah, exactly. So
and Jonathan Chase, he's like a speedster. He kind of reminds me of I mean, this is a big comparison, but like Ricky Henderson, he has a little bit of pop, but he's mainly known for his speed. He's a local kid, and he actually just got promoted to AA. And we all know if someone goes to AA, those guys' next step usually is the majors. But I mean, he was playing single A rookie ball like this whole month. He was tearing the cover off the ball. He was in like 389 with like 5 home runs. And he's a little dude too, and he's pretty young. He's only like 19 or 20. Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah, I actually saw that news and I was like, dude, I have like 15 or 20 of his first Bowman, his base, just the base first Bowman, and I was like, I think I have a ton of his cards, and I went back to check my box, and yeah, I have a ton of them. So it was a pleasant surprise. But initially I didn't think he was going to be one of those guys that got that far. Maybe I kind of thought he would just stay around single A, high A. But yeah, dude, I mean, if he makes triple A and somehow has a chance to get to the big leagues, I'm definitely gonna grade all the cards that I have of his.
Yeah, dude. I actually graded one because it was a gold chrome. It was like one of those like die cut kind of ones.
Are the inserts?
Yeah, and it's number out of 50, and it was like a pretty cool card. I was like, oh, well, if he makes it, like, why not? And I got a 9/5 out of it from Beckett.
Oh, nice.
And it was just kind of luck of the draw. He's a local kid. That's kind of why I did it. I may list it. I don't know. We'll see. But out of all the guys, I like this Denzel Clark kid. He's hitting 500 the past like 2 weeks.
This is the guy that was tearing it up in spring training, right?
A little bit. I didn't really hear about him a ton, but yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he I want to say he was like a 6th round something like 6th round pick, and he just kind of came out of nowhere and just lit up spring training. He was batting like 500. I mean, I think it was about 7 or 8 ABs, so it doesn't really I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I do remember him during spring training lighting it up.
Yeah. The fact that he's an Oakland A, like Oakland's, those rookies, I feel like they usually do pretty well just because of the potential of them getting traded off to a bigger team, and all that. But yeah, just kind of want to get your guys' opinion about these prospects and try something different a little bit. But yeah, just curious what you guys thought. Let's see what's our name. Oh, vinyls. Was this Trey's section or was this you, Ralph?
Yeah, I kind of put this together. I don't know about the Bruce Lee was your idea, right?
I just put Brucey up there.
Yeah, but so there wasn't really a whole ton going on as far as vinyl. But there was an article that was published earlier this week by Illuminate, and it was basic study, or not study, but I guess they polled people, and I want to say this was the 18 to 25 crowd that they polled, which kind of makes sense that 50% of the people that purchase vinyl don't own a record player. But I kind of thought this was bullish in terms of vinyl, you know, becoming one of those top tier collectibles. Vinyl has been doing well recently, but in the back of my head, I was kind of thinking, will this be a flash in the pan kind of collectible, kind of like a Beanie Baby thing, where eventually people get over it and they no longer want to collect it. But it seems like people don't really care to play the actual record. It's more about showing it off, posting it on
Displaying it.
yeah, posting it on Instagram, posting it on TikTok, and say, "Hey, I got this limited edition vinyl."
It's like
And
comics.
exactly,
Just like comics. It kind of
right.
is, honestly.
Yeah, and now with grading, Steve Aoki's company grading vinyl, I kind of thought it was bullish for this being good for vinyls that are coming out now and holding them long term instead of trying to quick flip everything. Um, Vinny, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? That was kind of just my thinking with this article.
Yeah, I think it's just because somebody wants to have people want to have something tangible. Like in the streaming era, it was like back in the day. You'd have your you have your CD collection, you have your tape collection, whatever. Streaming stuff as a collectible prior to NFTs, right, was just not really that cool. And so I think that's why. Yeah, I think that's why these physical sales, and that's why vinyl came back, because it's like this big piece and it's something that you can put up on your wall in a frame and stuff like that. So it's not really, so obviously there are your audiophiles who want to listen to it and they love the static crackling sounds that they hear in a vinyl record. But I always talk shit about that. I'm really just joking, guys. I know that it is like but there a lot of people they're just buying it just to have something tangible to connect with the artist that they like. Like I'm not back in the day. I think I probably, when I was doing hip hop, like producing, I used to, just buy vinyl and actually listen for samples. That's why I was doing it back in the day. And then at some point it was a nostalgia thing. I started grabbing vinyl, just putting it on there, even though I could easily just go to my computer and press it and, on iTunes or whatever. But I think that's it. I think it's all just part of that. So I don't really know if it's going to go anywhere. I think music NFTs as collectibles will become a thing to a certain degree. But I think people really like showing something on their shelves, or when people come to their house, they like to be able to display what they have. So
right,
yeah. Oh, yeah, and Bruce Lee. DJ.
Oh yeah,
See,
bro.
just in case you guys want to know.
Be like,
I
I have
watching
a
Gabriel.
shirt with that image for somewhere.
I was gonna do the one where he's shirtless, but I was like, nah, everybody knows that one. I like this one. I think it's more dope.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This one is, yeah.
he's buried here in Seattle. Did you guys know that?
What?
I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
you can go to his grave, and he's next. Brandon Lee's buried next to him, and you can take etchings like with charcoal of his grave in I don't know if it's Mandarin or whatever, but it's pretty cool. It was someone desecrated a while back, like during the pandemic, but they since kind of like redid it and stuff. And he has like a Bruce Lee Foundation. You can go. There's a museum here, and you can see like his old like movie props and like his old. You can actually like I could literally take you guys to his original studio up in South Seattle too. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
It's on top of a donut shop, but
That's
it's kind
dope.
of random. But
Wow.
Isn't there a homage to that? Like a Miles? I think it's an Iron
Yep.
Man.
yeah,
Right,
that
yeah,
Iron
it's
Man,
Iron Man 12.
Raza
Yeah.
variant.
FOC trash. Yeah. I remember that book
Cover,
for
man.
like
It's a
$20.
dope cover.
Yeah, that cover is. I thought it was sick. I
It was
mean,
sick,
yeah.
but it
Oh.
shouldn't have been for $25 and
No,
159.8,
no,
man.
no,
you know.
no.
So
Why not? Make money.
Yeah,
78, you got to roll out. Do you want to?
Yeah, I got to bust out.
You
It's a
wanna-
work day. It's Friday over here.
I'm gonna highlight your channel again one more time. If you guys aren't following the homies, Omar is up in here too.
Word,
Lost
yeah,
Cause
check
that out.
Collective.
Is that
Uh,
every? What day
Yeah,
is
we do it
that?
every Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, sick.
Nice.
yeah. But
'Cause there's
yeah,
a
man,
lot.
it's good stuff. I was in the channel on Saturday, and they were
Yeah,
just
you were there
they-
last week, man. That
yeah.
dope.
I was there the whole time, man. I was like this the whole time, just looking at stuff. You know? It was cool. It was really cool. Those guys do a good job. Omar does a good job of just kind of running the whole deal. So
Yeah, he runs us well.
it's good stuff, man. So anyway,
Word. Thanks, man. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot,
man.
guys.
yeah.
Take care.
Take care,
Yeah,
guys.
take it easy.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, take care. All right, and then I think we got. This is kind of wanted to add something at the end here, but so I found this. So I was on YouTube, and you know, like we talk about a lot about Pokemon, and like Magic is like, you know, those are the top tier like card games, right? And I was highlighting Star Wars as kind of like a collector kind of game, but this new game called Sorcery, it was a Kickstarter that was started, and it's described as basically like Magic the Gathering / Dungeons and Dragons and like Hero Quest. So it's like here. I'll do a quick share here. So it was a Kickstarter first. It got a lot of backing. So you can see right here, this is a booster box. It went for $130 initially, and I know like Kickstarters are kind of tough, right? It's because it's like it could fail and it could be nothing later on. It could be the next MetaZoo or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on with this new card game. I know Lorcana is coming out, and we got like, you know, the Magic the Gathering, Legend of the Rings set coming out. But I feel like this is getting like a lot of organic growth, and a lot of it has to do with, I think, just like the playability of it. It reminds me a lot of like, yeah, basically like Dungeons and Dragons and Magic. You use mana to like summon characters and all that. And again, this just came out, but the art is like, it's all hand drawn art.
I mean, the logo is totally reminiscent of Magic. I feel
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like OG
like
Magic.
they did that shit on purpose. They were
I mean, and you know, like the newer Magic, from what I've seen, like it's cool art and stuff, but I miss kind of the old school, like revised and 3rd edition unlimited stuff. I found. Oh, check this out, the Death Dealer, man, Frank Frazetta. Are you
Nice.
kidding me?
Oh,
And
Damn.
I thought this card was kind of cool. Some dude pulled this out, and I guess it's like, you know, there's rarities in this, but if you got in early, you could have got a booster box for $130. But now, here, I'll go to. I'll
going
just
for
show you what
1,000.
not that much, but let's see here. I mean, they're going. I mean, there's a healthy market for it.
What are
I
the
saw
boxes going for?
they're asking
Oh,
for 500 for alpha, but there's a new set coming out, like to get people to actually start playing of it. And I thought Wade would like this. It reminds me of the old D&D card game. I kind of actually want to actually buy it and play it. It's a little expensive right now to try out, but I mean, if there's so many card games coming out that just kind of fail. But I feel like this one might have some staying power. It's just something to kind of keep your eye on just for if you're into that, not necessarily like for trying to more so like to actually play.
Yeah.
If
How
you
do
actually
people play
it,
these
so.
games? How do people play these games if like the cards are like already on eBay for like going from $40 to $100? I mean, what?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I think the alpha says definitely like collector like oriented, right? Like you're the first ones to get that one. But the next set that's coming out, it's basically a reprint of alpha, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's kind of like buying a first 36 packs, and 36 packs for $130 isn't bad. I think it's printed in Australia, I want to say, so it might be kind of tough to get it, but I want to try it out. Just to see how the gameplay is, but the art's sick. I think the art is just definitely like very collectible. Just something I kind of saw when I was checking out YouTube.
Yeah, this stuff it kind of reminds me of NFTs, where it seems like there's a new TCG that comes out, and eventually something is gonna hit and will stay. Kind of like the what is it? Gary Vee's quote about NFTs. There's gonna be that one or two that sticks around and stays, and the rest are just gonna become nothing.
Yeah.
But I guess if there is a following and people are actually playing the game, obviously it's going to increase the value of the set, right? And people are, but that's the thing. You need people to actually play instead of just trying to flip it all, right?
Right.
That's how MetaZoo feels or felt.
Exactly.
Because even when I was at New York Comic Con, when they were talking about it, they were giving away the free card and stuff like that. Like you're in the line and somebody from Whatnot is like, "This is Bitcoin before Bitcoin, guys. Get in the." Get in line and get you like one of these cards. I'm telling you right now. I'm like, who's gonna play this?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think also the fact that it was started on Kickstarter and it had like a backing, that was kind of like, oh shoot, like it has an organic kind of like Pepe coin, for example.
There you go.
It has an organic kind of like evolution. Kind of like our channel has a organic evolution. I'm just kidding. I'll stop. I'm done for the night. But and then Wade was on my mind this week. I don't know why, but I know you mentioned he had mentioned that he was going to take a day off and play Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and I feel like the stuff that we talk about as far as video game collecting and practice what you preach. I recommended this back, I swear, on Brian's channel back in the day. And I didn't buy it, and I ended up buying the Zelda OLED system.
Yeah.
I messed up big time, man. I actually went to GameStop and returned my reservation today.
Wow.
I was just like, it just, and this game is taken off. Earlier we were talking about this. This kind of came to me. Trey was saying that Dr. Aphra, like, where's Dr. Aphra at, or like, where are these random Star Wars characters? This game, like Star Wars or Marvel needs to pay, Disney needs to pay attention to the following this game has and make some type of conceptual like show out of this game. Because I played the game. I played it with my niece. She's like 6, and we freaking loved playing it. And obviously, I mean, with just the fact that the new, that this box set for this game went for like $800. I mean, that's just kind of, it's like the tea leaves are right there. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So, anyway, what do you guys think? Have you guys heard anything about this game?
I mean, I don't game too much anymore, but I did hear about this. But I feel like Star Wars usually does well with games, right? Because Shadows of the Empire, when I was younger, I played the shit out of that game, and I played that Rogue Squadron, and those are considered classics, right?
Yeah. Rogue Squadron is like definitely like up there, like tier, and I mean, because they introduced like so many great characters, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just wish they would. I wish like the movies would kind of go in that direction. And Wade, you'd said Jedi Survivor is going to tie into the Mandalorian storyline. Are they actually going to bring characters from this game into like canon? Because that would be dope. I mean, the story is just so much fun anyway. it's awesome when you have a story and the gameplay is like, I mean, that's like the perfect recipe for video game, right?
Do they name drop anybody from current Star Wars? Well, I'm pretty sure they do, but from the Mandalorian in this, the Jedi Survivor.
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. They
Wade?
might though. I'm not sure.
Wade might know, right?
He probably does know. He beat it 2 days ago. If you haven't played it, you should. Ties Republic a little. Well, that's cool.
Nice, cool.
So anyway, yeah. That is our.
Omar V says, "Dude, the Zelda OLED is still dope. Wait until the game drops next week."
Oh, whoops. Yeah.
What was it? What did you buy? Was it just a system or was it the game?
I think it's the actual. It's not the game, right? It was just the Switch.
That's a great question. I don't know what I bought.
Just the Switch.
I think it probably was just the Switch. Damn it.
Yeah, the game has.
I actually bought it too. That's why I was wondering. I actually bought it because Trey, I think, put the link in our chat or Discord or something. So
yeah, bro, I went through so much like just out of the way kind of crap to get that stupid pre-order, and then I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, I don't want to deal with it.
Was it kind of like the walk of shame when you walked in, like, hey, I'm here to return this super hype contraption. Everybody wanted it, but I don't.
I know, the girl was like,
flip, right?
The girl was definitely like, okay. Like, she gave me that look. I was like, shut up, nerd. Like, but no hate to GameStop. But anyway,
one thing I wanted to mention, I sent you guys it in our group chat. So I went on an estate sale. Like, I live in an area of town where the estate sales are worth going to. Like, just the stuff that people have, you never know. If they advertise it, you'll never find anything. If they don't advertise it, I just go to every single one I can. I'll like, quickly turn the steering wheel. I'll be like, oh, I gotta stop. I gotta check this out. But this week, or last week, I went to an estate sale, did not find comics, anything like that. I found tubs and tubs of McDonald's Happy Meal toys from the 90s that were sealed in bags still. So they were selling 2 for 50. What was it? 50 cents? Yeah, 2 for $1. Yeah. So I ended up buying 360 of these. And I now know everything about like Beanie Babies from McDonald's, and apparently a bunch of them had errors. So like there was a tag on the Beanie Babies themselves that have a date, and there's a tag on the bag, or on the bag itself that has a different date. And if you have those errors, apparently they're worth something. So I've been like digging through these and just finding the errors and pulling them out to fuck with.
That sort of like random stuff with errors, it's like niche, but that stuff goes for a ton of money.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about it, and I looked up a few of them on eBay, and I was like, then I ended up searching through. I found one of the errors, and I was like, oh, I'm grabbing all these. So I looked like a crazy person because I brought like all these stuff downstairs, and then my wife was like, I was explaining what happened, and she was like, "Did you buy 360 teddy bears?" She was like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "No, Beanie Babies. They're not teddy bears."
Yeah, they're not teddy bears. Damn it, they're Beanie Babies.
I think she's imagining like a basement full of teddy bears, everywhere,
like your 16-year-old girl, like with all her boyfriends getting her teddy bears and shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, but yeah, there's some valuable errors in there. So I'm gonna keep digging through, but there's some. I mean, I was like, this is an area of collecting I had no idea about. So,
no, that's awesome, man. I guess we'll do our giveaway. I was gonna do it live just because we didn't do it last week, so I figured I just want to reward everyone. We got 13 live. We had almost 20 at one point. We even had Taylor Harder in the house, but we kicked her out right away. She's probably never coming back ever again. But no, I'm just kidding. No, she's cool. She's cool. And then I have my show on Sunday. You guys come through. Me and Pickles are going to be talking about our favorite trade paperbacks and all that stuff. But let me just do this real quick. Hold on. So I just put in some names. I got 5 in the chat right now. So it's for that Star Wars High Republic FOMO book that everyone's paying $30 for. If anyone else wants to be in the giveaway, just kind of just post in the comments because I'm not sure who else is in live or if you want to be part of the giveaway.
We got
Just
five
let me
ride or
know.
dies in the chat.
Who?
5 ride or dies in the chat.
5. What?
He's just talking about the people who are here.
Yeah, the
No,
people
it's
that
not
are
the
in the
name of
chat.
anybody.
That was actually the person's name.
What are you doing, man?
I thought you were going along with the joke. I was like, wait, is he gonna type it out?
That reminds me of that one Simpsons where the mafia kid or guy asked Bart to pick a horse. He goes, "Eat my shorts," and he's like, look at the paper. He's like, he said, "Eat my shorts." I said the 7th race. Eat my shorts is in the 5th race. you know what I mean? Anyway, so we got how many? You got 1. We got Southpaw, Wilbert, Rasper, Fighting Code Names, Edwin Aguilar. Oh, and please, you got to be domestic. I can't send anything to England or anywhere ever again. I think I got you in there, Wade, don't I? I got you, Jizzy, right there.
Oh wait,
yeah.
the vinyls, the what is it? Contest the champion vinyls. They got shipped, so I'll be sending you your vinyl pretty soon here.
Okay, is that it? It seems like it's. I'll give you guys. Oh, you're in Sweden. Okay, thank you. Oh, and all the way from Sweden. That's tight, man. Thanks.
That's awesome, dude.
Ooh, who is that?
Jasper.
Well, Will Flow.
Oh,
Will
shit,
Flow.
That's cool.
Send you like 10 Pepe.
Don't worry about. Don't forget about Will Flow 81.
Will Flow. Okay, cool. Anyone else? I think Will Flow. Will, are you in? Aren't you in Omar and 78's channel? The Anyway, all right, you guys ready?
Let's go.
All right, hold on a second. Oh, oops, I gotta do that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Again, thanks everybody for stopping in, and here you go.
All right.
Southpaw,
Brad.
awesome.
Nice.
And
Congrats.
real quick, me and Southpaw are actually doing a show together. It's going to be more financial news type stuff. I'll update that later. It's kind of like under construction, but we're going to try to do it every Wednesday at like 4:30 Pacific time, kind of before Brian's channel. I don't want to kind of go and mess with their kind of timeline up, but it's not going to be comic books or related like that. We may do giveaways the same, but he is in real estate. I'm obviously in finance. We may talk about Pepe a little bit, actually, or just NFT or just Bitcoin in general and all that. So yeah, if you guys want to just learn about like financial and just like all the crazy stuff going on, we'll be talking about it weekly to try and educate you and help you out and just kind of divide what's real and what's not. So anyway,
Nice.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, guys?
This was fun.
Yeah.
It always is.
Good times.
Well, again, thanks everybody for showing up. We are we had 20 live, 14 still sticking through the end, and we'll catch you next week. Pepe's gonna go 2 billion market cap. Me and Ralph.
You guys are not gonna see me on this channel anymore.
Vinny's gonna be gone too.
Ralph's
So
be like, I'm done with this.
No, I'll be back.
I'm on a boat.
I'm buying an island in the Philippines, man. Screw you guys.
I'm actually looking at islands that are shaped like lily pads, just in case Pepe ever gets that. Ever gets that high.
All right, guys. Have a great night.